you can read while you're in the bathroom washing your hands or whatever. It makes sense.
Taking a rusty dump.
But there was a... Ew.
I'm sorry, rustic dump. It's a rustic Italian eatery. I forgot. What? That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm going to pass right by that comment.
What? It's a good comment. That's an A-grade comment. On a romantic
dinner date, you did take a rustic dump on a romantic dinner date.
Did I say I did that?
No.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Those shifty eyes going behind the mic.
Yes, that's the only thing that's shifting right now. Hey everybody, welcome to A-Grade, the podcast where a college professor and a middle school teacher taste, review, and grade America's best coffee roasters, craft breweries, and more. We have new episodes every Monday at 7 a.m., and you can check out our A-Grade bonus content by hopping on over to patreon.com/A-Grade podcast, where we have lots of behind-the-scenes goodies, including pictures, videos, and a full report card of every place we've ever visited and graded. Again, just hop on over to patreon.com. You'll get all of that awesome bonus A-grade content. And you can support us too, so it's a win-win for everybody. My name, of course, is Joe, and I'm joined, as always, of course, by...
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie.
I always try to make the end of the intro sound interesting. But
you always hype me up a little bit, too, and then I get so nervous to say my name.
That means I've done my job.
Yes.
Anyways, welcome back. I feel like we haven't recorded in a while.
It's been a little while, yeah.
I guess so. I mean, we are in the depths of fall semester, which means I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is because I've been grading. I think I texted you last night that I was grading at 4 a.m.
Yes.
So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Somehow I was up so I could marathon train before work. So we are just kind of lost in space right now. But we did make time to make an episode.
That's how good we are. We will still find time to make an episode.
That's how dedicated we are.
Despite how deliriously tired I am, I will always A-grade. I will always put an A-grade effort. Maybe not in my teaching, but certainly in my podcasting. So
I will always put an A-grade in my teaching and my podcasting.
Wow, way to throw me under the grading bus. Jeez.
For the record.
Well, if you're joining us for the first time, thank you. We come here to grade everything. I mean, obviously, like we said, we love coffee roasters and craft breweries, but we also say and more. And that can be anything from TV shows to movies to books to what we're doing this week as per the episode, which of course is...
We are going to be grading and reviewing one of our favorite restaurants, Orto, in Miller Place, New York?
I think it's Miller Place, New York, yeah. And we were thinking about this for a while because, yeah, we try to go to new places typically, but I don't know, every once in a while, there's a place like this that we just love. And we have been going to Orto for quite some time. And we thought after having gone to Italy over the summer, if you go back and listen to our Italy episodes, that this would be fun to do because when we returned from l'Italia, of course, we did our Olive Garden episode, just as sort of a contrast of...
You mean it's not called Applebee's, which I called it that whole episode?
Italian Applebee's, yeah, yes. that is what it is. But we thought it would be fun to do an actually good Italian restaurant. Sorry, Olive Garden, but, you know, not up to par in reality. And so we decided to go to Orto.
Yes, we did.
And so if you're a first-time listener, like we said, we have 4 grading rubric categories, which are...
First one will be atmosphere and ambiance, and then service, and then we will go into food, and finally drink.
Yep, and then we'll tally up those grades and come up with an overall grade for each of us, and of course, maybe debate the overall podcast grade, because... That's what we sometimes do.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious what you think of this one because actually Orto, where we are reviewing right now, is unique in the fact that we have each been there multiple times before we are grading our particular experience today. And my question is, are you going to be using your overall experience there through the years, or are you just focusing on our experience today that we graded?
Well, like we always say on the podcast, we focus on our experience when we go to the place.
Yes.
So I will absolutely be biased and not follow that rule and take into account the wonderful experiences I have had here. I don't necessarily like going to an episode saying that like, oh, this place is great, but yeah, I can't ignore the fact that I've had great experiences here. That's indicative of what they do, what they provide. I mean, part of the reason why we do the podcast is to highlight awesome places. It's funny when we find a dud of a spot where we think, yeah, this is terrible. These are all the reasons why it's doo-doo, but Orto is not doo-doo. It's awesome.
And it kind of made me excited to go here and actually think about, we always say this place is great, but I'm curious how it's going to size up when it actually comes to our rubric.
Yeah, it's true, because we sometimes talk about, oh, this is A grade or whatever, but yeah, we've never actually gone through and obviously done an actual episode. So yeah, let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about the first category, I guess, the atmosphere and ambiance. Do you want to start with that?
Sure.
What do you think?
I can start us off.
Yeah.
So
you're the A&A gal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orto is super unique. What is unique about it is, first of all, Orto is only open from like 5 to 9 on certain days, which immediately gives it a kind of exclusive feel. It's also pretty much reservation only. We've never gone there without having a reservation, but it is easy to get a reservation because you can just do it right on Google Maps if you do want to go.
Yeah, we got a reservation last night basically for today at 5:00.
Right.
And there weren't a ton of reservation spots left available, but
it's really early or really late if you do it last minute. But
well, that's what we
otherwise,
found. It was either 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something like that.
So
yeah.
they do make it really easy. And I think the fact that the hours are really unique and the fact that it's off the beaten path, it's up pretty far north on Long Island. And I think overall, a lot of people haven't heard of it, except if you're super into eating at places that are really good, or word of mouth spreads about Orto where some people have heard of it, but other people haven't. And I do think it's sort of a hidden gem on Long Island in general. But anyway, all of that kind of before you go in, that all leads up to my actual experience when I went in there. And Orto is actually in a very, very old building. The house itself was built in like 1840s.
I think it said 1823.
Yeah. So we're looking at like the early 1800s that this house was built.
It's one of those old Long Island historic houses.
Colonial.
Which if you're familiar at all with Long Island or out east on Long Island or the North Shore of Long Island, there's a lot of those types of houses. So it's really cool when one of them has been sort of converted or repurposed or whatever the case is into some sort of public, well, I mean, I guess it's a private space, but like you can go there as somebody from the public and have dinner there. Super cool.
Right. And when you go in, and even the outside still has that charm of feeling like you're kind of stepping back into time.
Well,
and
because it's on North
into,
Country Road, which is one of those back roads that it's almost as if you don't know about it. As you were saying earlier, it would be hard to find without something like Google Maps, because you realize, as you're pointing out, that you drive by and you can imagine that, 150, 80 years ago, whenever the hell that place was built, that road was a dirt path, really. And that was a house on a dirt road.
Some homestead on a dirt road.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And they keep a lot of that original charm in when you walk in. It has those low ceilings and
the wood beams
in
the
hanging,
ceilings. Yeah.
And the lighting is super dim, which I love. But we did overhear some people complaining about that today.
Yeah, when do we talk about those annoying people? Do we start now?
I think we should start right now because it was really annoying considering we're talking about atmosphere and ambiance.
Speaking of atmosphere and ambiance, yeah. So there was this one lone woman in the corner. I think she was waiting for some other loser friends of hers or whatever.
Facts.
And I don't give a shit. This woman was annoying as hell.
So frustrating.
She was the one thing about the atmosphere and ambiance that really bothered me, because I think she said to our waitress we'll talk about the waitress with service, but she was super nice. And it was so funny because she would come over to us, and I feel as if she would come over to us and it would be great. And then she would go over to this miserable woman in the corner and at one point, this is why it's so funny for the podcast. Really, I think when we got
so
there,
weird. It was when we first sat down. We were so happy. We were ordering cocktails.
The vibe is cool. The lights are dim. The music's soft. We have this wood interior, like you
got a special menu that is printed every single
seasonal
day.
Cocktails,
different special cocktails.
Really engaging. I'm testing the drawers in this old wooden cabinet, and there's supplies in there. And I say, "Oh, that's great."
They seat us right away.
It's not just aesthetic; it's functional. And we hear this woman say, "Oh, excuse me, I have to tell you." This is what she says to the waitress. "I have to tell you something."
Loudly, she's saying this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, I don't want to scream into the mic.
So we overhear it.
But well, she does it in that voice where she's like, I have to tell you, I don't want to make a big scene. Like she thinks she's whispering,
And
but
she's
being
whispering
loud
in a
and
way
annoying.
where she wants the waitress to think she's whispering, but she actually wants
She
everybody
also
to
wants
hear.
to think She also wants the waitress to think that what she says matters, which
Yes.
it doesn't. But anyways, what she goes on to ramble about is that, and this is why it's ironic because she says I think she said the atmosphere is an ambiance. She said
She did.
she mentioned them
used her
both.
vocabulary.
I don't know
Did
if
she
it was,
listen to the podcast?
Maybe she does. Maybe she was trolling us. But she said I don't know how she connected it, but she said both words, and that in relation to the atmosphere and ambiance, she said A. She actually said A. She said A. And then she said the service outstanding. And then she goes, but the lighting at the tables to see the menu, it sucks.
She's like, tell your manager.
It sucks. But she drops that hard S. It sucks. And I'm just like, shut up. And then she says, I don't know who you got to
so
talk
rude.
to. Tell the manager,
Tell your
the
manager,
owner.
tell the owner.
And this
that
poor
I can't
waitress is
see
just like,
anything on the menu.
poor waitress is just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Also, this has happened.
I hate
I've been
that.
out with people in restaurants where you take out your phone and just shine a little light on the
Also,
menu.
it wasn't that dark.
It wasn't that
But
dark.
it was funny because later on, something happened where I think they were adjusting the lights to dim them a little, and somebody turned them down. It was almost right when we left later in the night when it was a little more crowded because we got there when they opened, and they dimmed the lights too far, and you could just feel that woman simmering behind us because it was like
We were like, oh no.
jokishly dim, you know? But that was my one main gripe with the atmosphere and ambiance was that stupid person.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time, funny enough, that I felt like somebody sitting at a table next to us actually impacted my experience because I was like, lady, just relax. Chill.
Well, and then it was funny too because the waitress says, "Oh, you want anything else?" And she says, "No, just the Irish coffee." And she comes back with a French press and I guess shots of whiskey or whatever Baileys you put
Did
into
you
an
also
Irish coffee.
notice she was
And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah,
what is
it was-
this? You're the atmosphere and ambiance issue here.
Yeah.
I don't know who's orders Irish coffee at an fancy Italian restaurant before their friends get there for the
Right.
meal and then just starts complaining about everything else, you know?
It was so bizarre. I
was
did
bizarre.
not have the same problems with the atmosphere and ambiance. I think
Nobody
the
did.
lighting is great. I think you're going to a fancy place, so you want the lights to be dim. You don't want to walk in and go into this bright lighting in this colonial house. I feel like
Well,
the
she
dim
was a blind
lights-
old bat who was
Right.
looking to complain about something.
Right.
So
I feel like
she found it.
the dim lights, in my opinion, add to the atmosphere and ambiance because it almost does feel like you're stepping back in time a little bit where you're just eating dinner by lantern or by candle. And they do have real candles on the table, which I love.
Yeah, it was great.
And
Great
they're
touch.
using glass silverware for everything. The people that are this a little bit into service, but you're constantly getting your plates out and put away, so you're feeling very comfortable there. There's no rush to eat, there's no rush to order. You have an awesome looking menu that's printed each day that has the date on it for the particular day. There's a really nice looking bar that also feels rustic in a way and old school. It really does feel like stepping back in time, in my opinion, and really comfortable. The tables are spaced out really well. There's a lot of different tables. I think it's a really romantic place to eat. So I like that about it.
Yeah, I also like what you mentioned about the fact that one of the things I loved, if you go back to our Italy podcast episodes, was how so many of those restaurants we went to felt as if we were stepping back in time. And this felt like that. It's one of the closest sort of comparisons I can think to our experience in Italy was, doing that here. And it's so ironic because if you think about going to a place like Olive Garden, right? They sort of try to manufacture that vibe, but it's so artificial and it so doesn't stick the landing. Whereas this, because of the virtue of the fact that if you think about it in terms of Western colonial architecture or buildings, which, this would have been early 1800s, that's a colonial home essentially. That's over or almost 200 years old now. Yeah, that's like comparatively going back in time if you go to an Italian restaurant hundreds of years or however long. So yeah, I really like that aspect of it too.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything that you would improve about the atmosphere and ambiance?
Yeah, I was thinking about that and I sort of feel as if The only thing that sort of stands out to me are in comparison to Italy. So, for example, I sort of think of the fact that when we went to these really hole-in-the-wall Italian places, we did have these experiences where the old Italian owner would come out and start singing in Italian to us, or just little touches like that, you know?
They're coming out and putting the cheese on our plate
Yeah,
afterwards.
you don't sort of get that. So I feel as if in terms of my atmosphere and ambiance grade, if this were just a random restaurant, I would say, oh, it's obviously an A. But because it's a fancy, awesome Italian restaurant, it's almost handicapped by its own sort of awesomeness in how it fits in or connects to that tradition of awesome Italian eatery experiences. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think what's going to help me come up with a grade is if we flush the toilets.
I'm so proud of you because I was waiting to see when you would finally cue the toilets,
You were
and you
tricking
did.
me. Yes.
I wasn't going to say anything till you brought it up because sometimes you just gloss right through it,
No.
but I'm very proud of you.
I got to know about your bathroom.
Bathroom corner.
Yes.
And actually, this bathroom was in the corner.
Yes.
So this setup is weird because there's 2 bathrooms as far as I know in this place. And again, the layout's kind of strange. I like that. It's unique because it's basically the bottom floor of a big house that they opened up into a big dining room sort of in the back. And there's a bar up front and some other tables up front, but really the main dining room sort of in the back of the house. I don't know what the heck's upstairs, but anyways, at the end of the bar is the bathroom, but there's also a ladies' bathroom on the other side.
In the dining room.
In the dining room. So I have no idea what's in that bathroom. So I can tell you my bathroom experience, but then you have to share your bathroom experience because that's the only way that we get the full picture. So my bathroom experience was, I mean, honestly, it was what I liked about the bathroom was that it was sort of at the end of the house. So the ceiling was on a slant and you actually can't stand up. And I'm not that tall, but like even I can't stand up and use the toilet. And my brother, who's much taller than me, absolutely wouldn't be able to. He would have to, I would assume, sit down to use the toilet. And I love that because it's just so random. It's such a little quirk.
Unique.
Yeah. So I really like just sort of that aesthetic. It's a very cozy wood-walled bathroom, that sort of thing. Again, I'm always a sucker for A-grade elements in a bathroom that I always talk about.
Should they have gone colonial bathroom where you have to go outside and
Well, now you're
use
just
the
being
bathroom in like a hole in the floor?
like an outhouse? That's not
Yeah.
colonial. That's Western gold miner.
What's a colonial bathroom like?
A
Do they
chamber
have
pot under the
plumbing?
bed.
Like we should
No, it's
have
not colonial. It's Italian.
We should have a chamber pot under the bed if you're going to go with the theme here.
I don't know if any of that's accurate. In any event, but there was no music in the bathroom. I always like when my bathroom
Yeah.
has music.
And a plant. Do you like a plant?
There was a plant in the corner of
Oh,
my bathroom.
okay.
I don't know if it was real, but who cares? But it was
Doesn't
a plant.
matter. Should be fake, probably.
So I would say it was maybe a B- bathroom. It was a good bathroom, but it didn't blow me away. But it was a good, solid bathroom. They had paper towels, which I love. It was clean. It was a solid B- bathroom. It was a good bathroom experience.
So one thing I was thinking about the bathroom, the girls' bathroom is in a different spot. And what's interesting about it is that you open a door and then there's a sink and then another stall. So even though
That's
it's
interesting.
a separate, you have to open the door to go into the bathroom, you still have to open the door again to go into one stall. And that was the whole
okay.
bathroom. So it was a little bit
That's
of
interesting.
a wonky setup, but I guess it makes sense because instead of people standing outside the door, if you're waiting for the bathroom, you're in the
Okay.
bathroom waiting.
Yeah.
But
So-
what's interesting to me is that some places have a very clear theme and they bring that theme into the bathroom, like Po' Boy, where it's Southern Bayou type theme. So when you go into the bathroom, you see that. Or Ghost Brewing. You know, you have a place that then has a theme that goes into the bathroom. I feel like when you're trying to do a fancier type place, a more upscale place where it's reservation only and very exclusive, if you did theme your bathroom too much, it might feel gimmicky.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I think the fact that the bathroom didn't have a specific theme and it was just a clean bathroom made sense to me when we're talking about this being an upscale dining experience where you're getting small plates and a lot of them, and you're going to spend a little extra money because you're getting really good food in a really unique atmosphere in an old historic building where the bathroom didn't need to be gimmicky. So it didn't bother me as much that there wasn't much character in the bathroom for that reason.
That's tricky because at the same time, I see what you're saying, because if you think about our Olive Garden experience, they were just blasting. What's that guy? That guy you always hear, Michael Bublé. Bublé, Michael Bublé. You hear like in any Olive Garden bathroom anywhere in America,
Kelly Clarkson.
They'll just be blasting Kelly Clarkson, Michael Bublé, and it's just to hide the gross stench of corporate floor cleaner and rat poison.
You don't get
and
that
clogged
at Orto.
toilets.
No.
You definitely don't get any of that at Orto. So yeah, in that sense, I understand what you're saying about the atmosphere and ambiance, and yeah, you don't necessarily need music. But I don't know. That's true too. If I think about Italian restaurants, none of those bathrooms are really very impressive to me. They're very just about like functionality.
And mine was in a cool little hidden nook.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough.
That. Yeah.
All right. So what do you think for?
And they did have a history of the building. And
what? I didn't get that.
When you first walk in, not in the bathroom. So it wasn't in the bathroom, but when you
I don't know why I want that in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a good place to put it. While you can read while you're in the bathroom washing your hands or whatever. It makes sense.
Taking a rusty dump.
But there was a ew.
I'm sorry, rustic dump. It's a rustic Italian eatery. I forgot. What? That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm going to pass right by that comment.
Why? It's a good comment. That's an A grade comment. On a romantic
dinner date, you didn't take a rustic dump on a romantic dinner date.
Did I say I did that?
No.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Those shifty eyes going behind the mic.
Yes, that's the only thing that's shifting right now.
But there was a history when you first walk in on the wall in a framed...
I didn't see any of that.
In a framed picture.
I was too distracted by Michael Bublé.
The homestead...
They weren't playing Michael Bublé.
No, they wasn't.
Who were they playing? They were playing something.
It was just classy music.
It was classy
just in the background. It was something you wouldn't really notice, but if it wasn't there, you would notice the absence of it.
Letter grade.
A-.
That's what I was gonna say.
I knew you were.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty outstanding overall. I would say it was really good stuff. Just a really unique place. I mean, again, you can go to a lot of really fancy Italian restaurants and it still sort of feels manufactured. The fact that this is such an old building and they've sort of made such good use of it, I think really stands out in that regard.
I agree.
So service.
Service, you start us off.
Yeah, so I thought our server was great. You know, I would just say very briefly overall that sort of the main thing that stood out to me was actually, interestingly enough, thinking about back to Italy, where I kind of love the service experience here, but at the same time, it almost feels more rushed because I'm in the Italy mindset. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in Italy, it depends on your mood. Like sometimes it's great because you just kind of sit there all day or all night and eat or just hang out, whatever. Whereas in America, you don't do that. They'll come over and ask you if you need something. And it's funny because there were times in Italy where we would just be sitting there and we would kind of eventually look at each other and just say, we got to get the check. This is ridiculous.
Like, I'm ready. Find the waiter.
Yeah, come on. We got other sights to see, you know?
I remember there was it was the night before we were leaving Rome. And we had to get back so we could pack up, and we had to buy train tickets for the next day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, where did our waiter go? Did he leave? It was a place that you wiped from your memory.
I'm sorry, you said wiped and I thought about the bathrooms again.
Exactly.
I got toilets on my mind.
You got toilets on your mind.
What place? Oh, yeah, there was a baby crying. You kept telling me about this place we ate at. I remember that because didn't a bird poop on you or something?
I got pooped on by a bird.
Yeah, go back to our Rome episode.
It was horrible.
Yeah. What's your point?
I don't know. I lost it. Get back to service.
Well, in any event, so yeah, here it was funny because it felt almost as if we were at an Italian restaurant, which we were in Italy, but the service was so much better.
Yeah.
Because they were fast. They would come around and say, oh, do you want more, whatever, anything. And it's kind of an interesting difference I noted where in Italy, I think this is true. I always thought that this was kind of bogus, but it does make sense where they don't work for tips. So it's kind of like, yeah, just, take your time, whatever. Whereas here, they're kind of moving and they're trying to sell you more drinks because they get, paid in tips. It makes sense. Not to say that I felt rushed by any means. I actually liked it more because it was more sort of accessible to be like, oh yeah, hey, we would like more drinks, or you can take this away. And we were still, I think we wound up being there for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours actually. And it felt like a good amount of time. So I really enjoyed that about the whole experience overall. I don't know. Did you have any other thoughts on service?
Just that what I really like when you go to a place is when you feel really welcome. We talked to our waitress for quite a long time just about random stuff. We told her we were in Italy and how much we were excited to be at Orto because it's the closest food that we've found since we've got back from Italy. And she asked us a lot of questions about it. And she told us about when she went back in 2018. And she told us a little bit of recommendations about the drinks we were going to get. I like that engagement where you don't feel like you're being a burden to them, where they feel like the servers really like the place that they're working and believe in the product and the food and the way it goes.
Makes a big difference.
It makes a really big difference when they're buy into the product. And I felt that from our waitress.
Yeah, she was great. It was really cool to talk to her a little bit about Italy, especially in these places where it does start to get busy. Yeah. And it's funny too, because like you do get that feeling though when you're talking to somebody in that situation, and it sort of does feel as if, well, I hope I can give you a break from that Irish coffee woman who's yelling about Democrats being mad about losing the Civil War, which I just kept taking me out of the Italian experience for obvious reasons. But
loud political rants going on behind us. You're like, what?
And I was just thinking, oh, just shut up.
Yeah. Let me enjoy my meal.
So yeah, I'm gonna go for service. I'm gonna go A-. That's my gut. What do you think?
I'm gonna go A because I felt like there wasn't. I can't think of really anything I would improve.
I don't know why I say A-.
And I thought that she was really wonderful, and everything was so efficient. The timing was so good.
Yeah.
At the end, when she brought out dessert and some limoncello for us, she was like, "There is no rush, but here's a check. Sit here as long as you want. Enjoy everything."
You know what?
And I really believed her.
I
felt like that was true. I can't improve anything. I'm going A.
I know why. You're wrong. I know why. I know why it's A-.
Why?
She did not come out with an accordion. She did not serenade us. She did not follow any of the stereotypes. She did not ride in on a gondola. She did not ride in on a gondola. None of it. None of it whatsoever. In fact, can I change to D?
I think you are the one that's doing some stereotypes there.
All right, that's fair enough.
I'm going to go with an A.
All right, let's move on. How about food? What do you think?
So the food menu is really fun because it is updated daily, where they print out the menu each day with a date on it, and different times of year they have different seasonal dishes. And it does seem like the chef is really thoughtful in what he's putting on the menu at any time of the year. And anytime we've been there, I think the food has been exceptional. And today definitely also fit that. I loved pretty much everything that we tasted. I think there are some things that they're doing at Orto that are really unique. You're going to get types of foods that you might not get in other places at all. Like we had a squash ravioli that had ground beef in it. That was unbelievable. The short rib is soft. Like you can eat it with a spoon.
The short rib is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. We got a egg.
I love how excited you get about a egg.
Oh my God. We got this farm egg that had a crispy farm egg where it was like a fried egg that had bacon, a bacon sauce and mashed potatoes. That was just unbelievable. And every single thing you get feels like the best meal that you've had. And I actually believe that Orto is one of the best restaurants on Long Island, if not the best, based on the different things that we've tried and the food that we've had. I can't think of anything that compares on Long Island.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, every time we go, we try different things, but there's so many choices that we know are great, such as the short rib. But we did try the meatballs. I had to try the meatballs because after Italy, I know a good meatball. I've tasted them from the source, and their meatballs were outstanding. They were outrageous. So Are there things I would want more? I would say yes.
Really?
Yeah,
What is that?
absolutely. The bread was okay.
The bread was okay. Yeah.
The olive oil was okay.
I didn't try the olive oil.
It was all right.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's good to know.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm
That's
just
good to
saying. It
know.
was good. Was it A plus? I don't think so.
I got it.
It was good. The spreads though, we got the ricotta cheese, and I've had the other stuff like the tomato. What is it? It's like a tomato paste or tapenade or something. That's all outstanding. So it's almost hard to say because there's so many things there that are A grade. The short rib is A grade. The crispy farm egg is A grade. There's a lot of stuff there that's A grade, but I start to get greedy. Like I'm saying, with,
Can you
with
think
one of
of
these other things.
A restaurant that you've had in America that's better food?
Got Applebee's?
Olive Garden?
Olive Garden? Man, it really makes you reevaluate Olive Garden, doesn't it? When you think back to that.
Yeah.
So what are you going to give for food grade? What do you think?
I originally was
What about the
thinking-
tiramisu?
Oh, okay. So we
So-
should talk about that.
Yeah, before you give food grade, because we did get desserts too. We
Yes.
did the 3-course meal.
So they do have awesome 3-course and 4-course meals, which are worth getting because the prices are really fair for getting many, many courses, and they come with dessert. So I got tiramisu because I didn't even know I liked tiramisu until we went to Italy, and I had heavenly tiramisu like 10 times in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, the one in Orto that I had tonight was very subpar.
What? Really?
It was a
First of all,
cake.
I don't
And
know what
not-
tiramisu is, if I'm being honest.
So I think what we
It's
had
like
in
soft
Italy
cake.
was way closer, where it would come in some kind of bowl or cup that was frozen. It was
Yeah, but it's made
cold.
up. It's only that whole tiramisu is only like 100 years old. Like they just made it up.
Well, the ones in Italy I had were
You like those?
above and beyond what I had tonight.
Wow.
I had a piece of cake, cinnamon cake tonight, whereas in
Fair enough.
Italy I'm getting this different thing.
But the
that
donut
is
balls we had were really
tiramisu.
good.
The donut balls are basically fried zeppelis.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what's so confusing to me about the food here.
I don't think
because-
the dessert is out of this world. Like I think about the food.
No, but some of the food, like the donut balls or the short rib or the crispy farm egg or the polenta or whatever, I think of that and I think A grade.
Or
And
the homemade pasta.
The homemade
do
pasta, A grade.
It's one of the only places you can get homemade
Yeah.
pasta where they make it there. They make the pasta there. If you're comparing it to Italy, it might be an A minus. But if you're
that's a
comparing
good point.
if you're comparing it to
That's a good point.
America, I think it's an A.
Right.
I
So
can't-
that's sort of my point is because the bread, for example, the bread that I had was, I don't know, B grade bread, B minus. It was good, but it wasn't anything outstanding. Whereas in Italy, every place we went, the bread was A grade.
But
That's my
if
point.
you compare the bread to
The bread wasn't
American
bad. It was fine.
standards, where would you put it?
I would say
Maybe like a B plus.
American restaurant bread, it's probably B plus bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably accurate. Yeah.
So it is a little tricky because
All right,
we
give
do
your food
have
grade.
A
I'm
minus.
putting you on the spot.
A minus.
What?
because of the dessert.
I'm giving an A. Out of
What?
spite. A spite A.
I thought I was going to be higher than you.
I thought I was good. Wait.
Well-
yeah, I did too. Wait, we started out where I was supposed to give the lower food grade, and you were supposed to give the higher one. We out argued
You
each other.
convinced me to give it an A minus.
You convinced me to give you a spite A.
You convinced me to give it an A minus because of the tiramisu
right,
and
write it down.
because of the bread.
Write it
Otherwise,
down.
I thought it was A level.
Write it down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what we just did, but
We convinced each other of the others. I had
It's
A written
demented.
down, and then as you were talking, I added a little minus. I was like, "You're right. You're right."
all right, that leaves us with drinks.
Drinks.
I go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go A minus.
You're not gonna say. You're like, all right, I'm done.
You didn't see that
I'm
coming.
done.
Talk about coming in hot. A minus. Boom. Done.
All right, see you later. Bye.
No, the drinks were outstanding too.
Outstanding.
Again, when we say A or A minus, we're really nitpicking here.
It's amazing.
It's that's getting into. We might as well be talking like this, yes, because we're arguing very fine points of etiquette
I'm going with an A.
for drinks.
Yes, for one reason, it has to be A.
I know is because your coconut martini was A grade.
It was a pumpkin martini. Good
Whatever.
try. But
I don't know what the hell goes
it
into a
was the
martini.
best thing that I've ever tasted.
What is a coconut martini?
was a pumpkin pie martini.
Pumpkin pie martini.
Tasted like
It might have been
heaven.
it might have been the best, one of the best cocktails I've ever had.
Me too,
Yes.
without a doubt.
But my
And
cocktail was
wait,
just good.
the
Like it
same
was
thing
probably like a
happened-
BB plus cocktail. That's my point.
yeah, that's
It was
'cause you
it was
guys
a
have-
really good
you got-
cocktail.
that was an ordering flaw. You guys have kind of
What are
like
you talking about?
bourbon weird thing.
It had Aperol in it.
Why would anybody want to drink anything with Aperol in it?
Because in Italy, everywhere you go, they have Aperol spritz.
Those aren't that good either.
Yeah, but that's what they do.
So would
Just
you
like they fold the pizza into a calzone and eat it that way. Why didn't we do that when we were there, by the way?
fold a calzone?
You never seen those stupid babes on Instagram who they
Babes?
Yeah,
What's
they
a babe?
like they're the girls with like the tight dresses and they have all the makeup
Do we still?
and they're like making this stupid face and
I don't think it's called a babe anymore.
what is it called?
Like a hot chick.
I gotta say hot chick now?
Don't say babe. That's weird.
What's the difference?
Like Babe Ruth. What are you talking about?
Babe Ruth, what are you talking about? A chick, like a hot girl.
Fine.
You know what I'm talking about. Why are you derailing me on this point? It makes no sense. But they fold the pizza over into
Hot girls do that on TikTok.
and then they have the caption and they say oh how they do it in Italy, and then they kind of shrug like, oh, I guess this is how I do it, and then they take a bite out of the folded corner and they're like, oh, that's actually really good. And then I don't know, they walk off a cliff or something. I guess
I
don't
know
know.
what the algorithms have done to you, but I've never seen any.
Yeah,
of
my
those.
Instagram's weird,
I
man.
have seen a lot of videos of girls doing makeup though. That I have seen.
I really hope that doesn't get into my
Yeah.
Instagram.
I'm like, just give me a calzone.
I hate Instagram. Yeah. Anyways,
What
follow
are
us
we
on
talking
Instagram.
about?
We were talking about how
Oh.
A- the drinks were.
I say A because the other cool thing they do is you are allowed to bring in your own bottle of wine
Yes.
from outside.
Yes.
And I think that is
And there's no corking
such
fee.
there's no corking fee.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for that.
So
They'll bring
we-
you wine glasses and everything. It's really cool.
We've gone there before with a group of people.
Just
and
bring
we
all your own
brought
wine.
like 4 bottles
Yeah.
of wine and just enjoyed a dinner with wine that we brought from outside. Maybe we start with a cocktail or end with a cocktail. But I think that to me elevates them, the fact that they're open to that. And it's a fancy place, but they allow that. You really do. It lets you splurge on the food and the cocktails because you can
Yeah.
bring in your own wine.
Definitely. And I also like that at the beginning of the meal, they bring you a nice bottle of water, like a tall glass
big one.
bottle. And they just keep bringing you those. They don't say, "Oh, would you like some water so we can charge you $17
Or you don't have to
for
like
it?"
get waiter, can I
Yeah,
have some
they just bring
water?
you
Like
water.
that
That's
happens
nice, yeah.
sometimes. So I think for me, the drinks are A. It's one of my favorite parts of going there.
Okay. So what are our tallies?
Report cards. You're looking
Yeah.
at me like, come on.
Yeah,
go.
let's go. Come on, I
Okay.
got to take a
Are we
rustic
on?
dump.
Are we on like a timer here? Okay. Atmosphere and ambiance. Joe said A minus. I said A minus. Service. Joe said A minus. I said A. Food. We have A and A minus. Drinks. We have A minus for Joe and A for me.
I know
This
my
is-
grade.
Is this the first time that we've ever had all A level grades
Uh,
for everything?
it's probably pretty. These are probably if you just added it, like if you said, okay, each letter grade is worth this amount of points, and you added all of them up, this would probably be the highest amount of points. Maybe.
Yeah, I think this is actually the best
It's
report
close.
card we've seen.
It's close.
Everything is an A or an A minus.
It's
to
definitely
me,
close.
that's incredible, and I'm really proud of Orto. Good job.
We haven't argued about the final letter grade yet.
Okay, I'm
though.
ready.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. A. What? I did not think you were gonna do
I
that.
thought you were going to say A minus.
I thought you were gonna say A minus.
Wow.
Wow, mutually assured A destruction.
Mutual A's. You know what that means.
Oh. Ugh.
Cue the fireworks.
No, what I'm gonna insert is the beep of me cursing. Like,
So you better do it.
and then I'm gonna put in fireworks.
So you better actually live up to the cursing.
That's some big A's there.
You haven't even cursed. Say it.
I don't have to curse. I can just put in the beeps and it'll sound like I curse. You f. I mean, I can say it, but
Yeah, you
I,
can.
the problem is I have to edit this all tonight because we're having a Halloween party rager tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to have time to do that then. So
Well, good thing we gave A's to Orto.
you heard it here. That's an A for Orto
I'm really
from
excited
A Grade Podcast.
because we do love this restaurant and we go there a lot on special occasions.
Yeah, but if they could fix the table lighting situation so I can read my menu, then they would actually be in an A
Like,
grade place.
Get out of here, lady.
The fact that the Democrats are still complaining that they lost the Civil War is proof of point.
Do you want to hear that when you're eating? I don't care what your political views
Give me
are.
more
like,
Irish
don't-
coffee.
Oh,
Imagine if
God.
that woman listens. She like sues us.
Well, we were
for
thinking, we're
libel.
like, did she listen to the podcast? Because she's using a lot of our vocabulary.
Seriously. I was too scared to look back, but
She said atmosphere and ambiance. She said service.
she gave them grades.
She gave them grades pretty much. I'm like, is she a Patreon?
She's a Patreon member.
We should have gave her a business card.
We
She
should have
could-
left her a business card.
because she had some hot takes that I don't agree with.
Well, they were hot garbage takes.
Hot
is what they
garbage
were.
takes.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, what I say to those people is you can always GTFO,
You say
STFU,
you say suck an egg to those people.
suck an egg.
Suck a farm fried egg.
That's what I should have said. I should have said STFU GTFO. And she would have been like, huh? Is that what those kids are saying on Twitter?
She was like, but have you seen the Twitters?
Twitter's the problem.
With the girls making
Elon
calzones?
will fix everything.
Have you seen the Twitters with the girls making calzones?
Well, they fold them. That's how they do it in Italy.
What?
Seriously, it is a thing.
I've never seen it.
I will show. I guarantee you, if I go on Instagram after we
But
record,
have you
you'll
seen
see
the one with the girls putting makeup on?
it. Oh hell no!
I'll show you those.
No, I don't want to see it.
Come on, you do.
No, I'm
Did
not
you see
interested.
the one with the guy that has no arms and no legs and he's putting on makeup?
So thank you guys for listening. And if you want more bonus content, just hit us up on patreon.com/A Grade Podcast. We have all sorts of awesome bonus
It's a good
content.
TikTok.
You can
It's motivational.
shut up. I'm trying to make us money.
It's funny.
I don't care
It's
if
a
it's
really
funny.
motivational TikTok.
That has nothing to do with Patreon.
It's my favorite one. I subscribe to him.
All right, go
Okay.
look at that and then go to patreon.com/A Grade Podcast. For $3 a month, you get all this awesome shit. It's A grade. You'll love it. And we'll put the money right back into Orto.
And honestly, Orto.
There's a link in the episode description too. Just click on it there. Click on it.
If you live locally and can make it out to Orto, highly recommend you go on a weekend night, bring yourself a bottle of red wine and try the 4-course meal on the menu, get some cocktails, hang
Bring
out.
a lantern to read the menu.
Seriously, this place is awesome and is A grade. We don't give out A's very often, but
Yeah,
Orto
no, it's
deserves
definitely.
it. And
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of good restaurants around here that I would say are B, B plus, A minus.
Right.
But we said actually to the waitress, because we don't tell people that we are grading, because I mean, first of all, who the hell cares? But it would just be a weird thing to tell somebody.
We're coming
We're here
here
to
to
grade
review
you. You are being graded. But we did mention how we went to Italy over the summer and that we feel as if Orto is the one place that we visit back here where we eat the food and we say, yeah, this is as good as the food is back in Italy. It's amazing. So yeah, highly, highly recommend for those reasons. And I mean, I hope we can share this episode with Orto.
I think so.
I don't think they'll be too mad.
No, if anything,
They say something too derogatory?
No, I
no more
think
than usual.
the only bad thing we did was make fun of a very loud woman.
I also said I took a
rustic.
rustic dump in their bathroom.
But you didn't. That's just for
Yes, I
entertainment
didn't.
purposes.
Right. You're right. Yes. So anyways,
You heard it here?
you heard it here.
A for Orto.
A for Orto. Do you know what Orto means in Italian?
No.
Garden.
Does it really?
Sure.
Walnut?
No, true. True
Cool.
story. You lose your walnut.
That's okay. I got it back.
If you want
on
to know what a
Sunday.
walnut is, hit up patreon.com/A Grade Podcast and you'll find the answer.
Yes, you will.
You actually will. I have a whole document about it.
And next week we should be back with a craft beer brewery.
We probably will, yeah. I kind of want to go to a
coffee
brewery.
roaster, but we'll probably do a brewery.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time.
It's due. So,
And we have the 8-gradies coming up and a trip coming up where we will be reviewing some places out of state.
yeah, but that's not until the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's not until after
But it's
the A
coming
Gradies.
soon. Yeah.
It is coming soon.
Yeah.
We're going to the West Coast finally.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, hit us up on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe, follow us. All that crap, all that good stuff. We
Yep.
love you. Wow,
Thank
that was
you
the
to
most
Patreons.
unenthusiastic I love you ever.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Patreons. I do love Patreons.
Yes, me too.
Actually, our Patreons are really cool people.
Yeah.
We don't have one Patreon I don't like.
I love them all.
Because that would be a problem if we had Patreons and we were like, that person. But they're all, they're amazing.
Yeah, they're our favorite fans.
They are. They're awesome. Yeah, so hope to see you next week.
Yes, we'll see you all next week. And in the meantime, we hope you have a great week.
Yeah, have an awesome week. Best of luck to you all.
And check out Orto.
Check out Orto. Enjoy your rustic dumps. And, well, that was a genuine cringe you just made. Until next time, stay safe. Man, I'm tired. This was a long week of
Same.
teaching. I like I said, I had that 4 a.m. grading spree.
Let's
I did.
go to bed.
Okay, stay safe, be well, dump well, and hope to see you next week.
Bye.
Wow, you didn't even check me on that one.
No.
Bye-bye.
I'm like, is it bedtime?
What were you going to say at the end? No,
I
that's
don't know.
over.
How long is this episode?
How long do you think?
43 minutes.
Oh my God, 44, 47.
Yes.
You're really good
I'm
at
so
that.
good at that. Good at guessing.
Anything else?
I got a good sense of time.
Milk?
Don't even get me started.
See, that sounds like fetish shit.
It's not, though.
Patreon.
Bye.